Hey guys, so today I kind of have a different video planned because my next big video is going to take quite a long time before it's out, so in the meantime, I just wanted to give you something small and cool to watch. I mentioned in a video in January that I wanted to show off a lot of the stuff that I collected in the last year, and I just wanted to show some of that to you guys. So we're going to go through games, my room setup, and movies and such that I'm happy that I got, and I'm just going to show it all to you, including all the figures up there. So, you ready? Let's do it. So let's just start with my computer setup for now. So I recently built a PC myself. I'd been using a gaming laptop for a long time, so it was finally time to replace it. Honestly, nothing too fancy right now. I've got another monitor coming soon, but until now it's just this. So in a previous video, you could see some of this stuff when I was testing out my mysterious game of Crypticism, I think is what it was called, from Scott the Woz, but let's take an actual closer look at it now. So, first of all, I was one of the lucky ones who was able to get a PS5 right as they launched, so that was very fortunate for me. So it sits right here with the thematic blue light. Right next to that, we got my Switch. I've had this puppy for, God, I don't know, 3-4 years now. I've had it basically about a year after the Switch launched, so I guess 3 years. I don't really use it much, because, I mean, that's right next to it, so I still love it though. Down on the bottom we have all my Xbox stuff, and it's all alphabetized, every single thing here. Starting with your Call of Duties, all the way to your World War II Combat Road to Berlin. I think that game sucked. Couldn't be an Xbox collection without one GameStop case. It's disgusting and I hate it, but it's also the first game in my 360 lineup, which makes it even worse. And these are all the 360 games, save for a few that I've managed to collect. I don't know where the heck the other ones are, but that's what I have here. These are all of my Xbox One games. That's not a joke. This is literally all I have. Needless to say, I didn't really get a lot of use out of that system. Right next to that, we have the PS4 and PS5 stuff, and also not a lot. But that's because I didn't start getting PS4 games until I got my PS5, because it's actually my first PlayStation, so bit of an excuse there. What I like most of all about this collection especially is the fact that if you check, about a quarter of it, these three right here, are Persona games. All Persona 5 spin-offs, or I guess royals, like the definitive Persona 5, but you know what I mean. I just think that's kind of funny. And annoyingly, half the cases are red. That's Apex, so it's red already. Gran Turismo's a PlayStation hit. Ratchet & Clank was a PlayStation hit. Royal's already red, and The Last of Us 2, or The Last of Us Remastered rather, is also a PlayStation hit, so it makes my collection look a little weird. The PS5 stuff is kind of small, but that's just because not a lot of games are out that I want yet. I decided to pick up Watch Dogs Legion. I've played a little bit of it. It's locked at 30 FPS, which is very stupid and very Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've played a few hours of that, and frankly, I think it is incredibly boring, so great job. Already 2 for 2, Matt. COD Cold War. I would play it more, but it takes up more than a quarter of my PlayStation's storage, so it sits here. Another great purchase. Spider-Man Miles Morales, however, that's a good game. I've played that game, I think, 4 or 5 times, so actual good purchase. Okay, and now on to the anime stuff, which is what my channel has primarily focused on, except for a couple videos, so this should be interesting to most of my longtime viewers. They're all alphabetized, so if they look kind of weird next to each other, that's why. The DVDs and Blu-rays are all mixed, so oh well, I gotta live with it. So first up is Angel Beats, which is a fantastic show, and you'll find that as I go through these, all of these are really good. That's why I own them physically. Anohana actually just came in a couple days ago, so that was another very nice addition to my collection. A Silent Voice, very important movie to me, one of my favorite movies of all time, and it sits nice next to Anohana and then Attack on Titan. Very, very different shows. So I have every season of Attack on Titan so far on Blu-ray. I'm waiting for part 1 of season 4 to come out, and then it'll go nicely right there, so that's cool. Death Note was actually the first show I got physically, so this is the one I've had in my collection the longest, are these two, which is part 1 and part 2. I would have bought them Blu-ray. I didn't think to do that when I actually purchased them, so they're kind of stuck in low-res DVD, but oh well. Next up is Demon Slayer. I kinda like Demon Slayer. Honestly, I think the show's a little overrated. I feel its writing's kind of sloppy. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. The animation's top-notch, and I think episode 19 is what really sold people on it being like a masterpiece. I think it's pretty good. Erased, a very controversial show. I actually only have one of these in a collector's edition. This is a regular Blu-ray release, and this is part 2 of the show, Collectors. I could not find part 1 Collectors anywhere, so for now it's just part 2. I love this show, it means a lot to me, and currently my review of the show is my most viewed video on my channel, so thanks Erased, you're pretty cool. Now we're at the really good stuff. We have FMA 2003, another slightly controversial show, and then Brotherhood, as well as their respective movies. These aren't alphabetized at all, but I just kind of like the way they're lined up this way, so deal with it, I guess. In my humble opinion, FMA 2003 is still like a 9 out of 10 show. I know that's not popular, but it's my opinion, so sorry. Brotherhood, 10 out of 10. Easily 10 out of 10. The follow-up movie to 2003, I made a video about that as well. It's actually one of my first videos on the channel, and I think it's pretty okay, yeah. Now, FMA Sacred Star of Milos, I don't know. It's a complete spin-off. It is completely unnecessary to the Brotherhood experience, and because of that, I think it's like a 6 out of 10. Not great, but I mean, not offensive. Here's a fun movie, Grave of the Fireflies. Arguably my favorite Ghibli movie, definitely one that hits me the hardest. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you do, but bring tissues because this movie will kick you in the nuts. Directly next to that, we have Kagi-Sama Love is War, the complete Blu-ray set. Ooh, look at that. This was incredibly overpriced. I'm not gonna say what I paid for it, but it was not cheap. The show's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, do so, but maybe don't buy it. Not my smartest purchase. Next to that, we have the complete teen romantic comedy Snafu series, except for the last season, because this was back when complete was just 2 seasons, so whenever season 3 releases, on Blu-ray rather, I'll pick it up, but for now it's just this. Princess Mononoke. While probably not my favorite Ghibli movie, it's probably their best movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's just really, really good. Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl and Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. This is the show, this is the movie. Both A+, in my opinion. They rock, great series, definitely worth it purchases. ReZero, another kind of tricky one to place, honestly. I think the show is good. I think season 2 was slightly better. I think the first half of season 1 is really slow and painful to rewatch. I think the second half is really good and really fun to rewatch. So it kind of puts me in an awkward situation, but I still think the movie, or the show rather, is pretty good. Not bad. I'd give it a solid B-. It's pretty good. An even more difficult show to place, Tokyo Ghoul. You'll notice I have season 1, season 2, and then not 3 or 4, because I just didn't think buying season 3 and 4 was worth it. So these are the only ones I have. I think this is like an 8 out of 10, or a 9 out of 10, excuse me, and this is like a 7 out of 10. They're pretty good. I'm happy that I have them. Violet Evergarden, probably the most beautiful show I've ever seen, visually anyway. Its story's a little... it's pretty good. It could be slightly better in my opinion, but I mean, I didn't write it, so I can't really complain. It's stunning. Please watch this show if you haven't. Thank you. When Marty Was There. This is the first Ghibli movie I ever saw, so it kind of holds a special place in my heart. I know it's not their best, but I don't care, because I still love it. Your Lie in April, also known as Pain, the show. It's gorgeous. Please watch it if you haven't. Yeah, it's time. It's that time of the month, man. Come on. Throw it on if you haven't. If you're over 12, that is. And last up we have Your Name. Great movie. I don't have a lot to say about it, I just think it's really good. I made a video about why I think it works well, where its follow-up, Weathering with You, doesn't. And I still believe every word I said in that video. Your Name is like an A, Weathering with You is like a C. Sorry if that's not a popular opinion. So that was everything from this shelf, so now we're gonna move on to this one. Starting off with the things on top, it's just kind of an amalgamation of random things I don't have space for, like Halo Mega Blocks that I got when I was, 12, 11? I don't know, I was young. Still like them. My amiibo. I actually have one more. I have Donkey Kong, but I don't know where he is. I think he's at a friend's house still, so whoopsie. You can see I have all the Nintendo All-Stars, Luigi, Pikachu, Lucas, and Marth. The ultimate lineup. This collection of the 3 gems needed to unlock the Door of Time from Ocarina of Time was actually made for me by my friend Jason, who was in my Nacho Libre video, for my birthday, so thanks Jason. You can't buy this anywhere, so... Well actually, yeah you can. I think he has an Etsy. If he does, I'll link it. If he doesn't, oops, my bad. This was another gift actually, an Ocarina. I don't play it because I don't know how, but it sits there and it looks pretty. This is my new Nintendo 3DS XL, and it's a limited edition Zelda one, so it's probably one of the coolest things I own. It was pretty expensive, and it's actually the first video game system I ever bought myself, so it holds a place in my heart for that reason too. This is just random stuff I've collected. This came from a loot box, I think. These are movie theater drink tops. This also came from a loot crate, same one as this guy. That was made from you by Jason. It's Alphonse's head from FMA. That's the Iron Giant's jaw screw. That is Rick Sanchez's blaster. So, just random shite goes right there. Very nice. Moving on to games, you can see my Wii U collection doesn't really fare better than my Xbox One collection, and that's for the same reason. You'll notice I have one Wii game, and it's actually not mine. It belongs to a friend, and I never gave back to him, so sorry about that, but it's literally the only Wii game I own, because I never owned a Wii. Of the Wii U games I do own, all of these are like A+, so I'm glad I have them, but I don't think I'm ever gonna put them in my system again. Next to that, we have my Switch games, and these I actually do play fairly frequently, when I play my Switch anyway. All of them are really good, all of them run pretty well. The worst game that runs here is probably XCOM. It's a real bitch, and I mostly bought it just because I think it's funny to own. Speaking of funny to own, Minecraft New Nintendo 3DS Edition. This game is hilarious. Jokes aside, the game actually runs like pretty okay, but definitely not the most ideal way to play. Oh my god, okay, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, playing this with one hand is a real bitch. Moving on, we have Monster Hunter Generations, which I actually think is a pretty good game and runs fairly well on the system, though I barely played it, so why do I even buy things? Up next are the Persona Q games, Q1 and Q2, both great, and I can't play either of them yet because I haven't actually beaten Persona 3, so when I get along to that, I can finally play these. Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Pokemon Moon. I can tell you safely, Alpha Sapphire is probably my favorite, or one of my favorite 3DS games, and I stopped playing Pokemon Moon halfway through because there were just too many fucking cutscenes. So one of my favorite game series is actually Splinter Cell, so I kinda felt I had to get Splinter Cell 3D. It runs pretty well actually, better than I thought it would, so not ideal, but it works. Smash Bros for 3DS, probably one of my favorite games on the system as well. I played the hell out of this game. Then we have all the 3DS games that released for the Zelda series, I think. Trevor's Heroes, Ocarina. No. Yes? No. I think that's all of them. I don't know. My brain's fuzzy. I'm really tired. Lego Lord of the Rings. I don't remember why I bought this, but I mean it's a Lego game. It works fine. On to DS games. I'm just gonna lightning round this because I don't have a lot to say. Age of Empires. I don't think I played it. My brother bought it, but I mean, it's Age of Empires 2, so it has to be good. Brain Age. It's Brain Age. You've played Brain Age. Everyone's played Brain Age. It's good. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. I think the only M-rated DS game I own. I asked my mom for this one day as a joke, and on Christmas, I got it. And I think I was like 9 or something like that when I got it, so that was shocking, but thanks, Mom. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. It's a DS movie tie-in. It's as good as you'd expect it to be. Justice League Heroes, kinda shitty. Kirby Superstar Ultra, kinda really good. New Super Mario Bros. It's New Super Mario Bros. Come on, it's good. Nintendogs, great game, I loved it. I don't know where the cartridge is. That's an empty box, so that's kind of sad. Pokemon Heart Gold and Pokemon White, 2 of my most played games on the system, and I love both to death. Give me a Gen 6 remake. Wait, no, fuck Gen 6, Gen 5, that's what I meant to say. Professor Layton, I didn't know how to play this as a kid, so I didn't. Zelda Phantom Hourglass, an often shit on game, but a game I love to death regardless, because it was my first Zelda game. So, thanks. You got me into the series, Phantom Hourglass. Transformers Autobots, also really bad. I have Decepticons, I don't know where it is, so right now Autobots sits on its own. The Sonic Classic Collection. It's the 4 Sonic games that you want to play all in one, so not bad. And lastly, Mario 64 DS, a must-have. I love this game. I don't care what anyone says about the controls, I think the controls are great. I fucking love this game. Here we have my currently only 2 NES games, Mario and Duck Hunt, as well as Scott the Woz, The Mysterious Game of Crypticism, which was something else. I don't remember the name. Matthew, put up what the game was. Thanks. I love you too. Tucked in there is a Game Boy Color, a DS, I had like 6, so that's one of them, I don't know where the others are, and my original 3DS, which also sits there nice and cozy, the piece of cake that it is. And then a Game Boy Advance, my brother's. He has mine right now, which is kind of annoying. I have his broken one. Very cool. This is the Persona 5 Royal Collection. It also comes with an art book, but that's tucked away right now. I might pull it out later. But it comes with this awesome Joker mask, a CD with some of the songs, and a really nice box. Hello, Finger. This is probably one of the coolest things I own. I'm really happy to have it. Over here is the Scott the Woz Mysterious Game of Crypticism. It came with a signed card of all the boys, the actual case, a little mini The Internet and You, which I think is hilarious, and the actual game, which is, of course, right there. Very happy with this, and it went to charity, so that's cool. Right here, I actually have the A and B soundtrack for Celeste on cassette. I saw this, and I knew I had to buy it. Celeste is one of my favorite indie games. Not my favorite. I'll be talking about that very soon, my favorite indie game. But the soundtrack is superb, so I had to get them. Directly behind that is the limited run games version of Shantae and the Seven Sirens, and I got the most deluxe version I could because I love the Shantae series. It came with a nice steelbook, a CD, a little replica Game Boy Color card, and a collector's card, as well as some other stuff that's tucked away. The bottom shelf has stuff that I just keep out but never use, like this Atari Flashback. I have no reason to want to actively play Atari games, but if I ever have the urge, it's right there. Next to it, collecting dust, is my retro bit for playing the 2 NES games I have. When I get more, this will probably be plugged in more, but for now, yeah, not so much. Very depressingly, in the same boat, covered in dust, is my Wii U. It just sits here. Yeah. If I get more games for the system eventually, I might plug it in, but for now, it just chills here. Sorry, buddy. We're just gonna take a quick look at posters now. This is the poster that came with the Shantae and Seven Sirens, pardon the glare. I never actually unfolded it properly, I guess, so the creases are there, but it's fine. It sits above my TV, and yeah, it's great. Hello. This is a signed Crash Zoom poster from Tomska, Eddie Bowley, One Shop, and then the 2 others who I can't remember who make Crash Zoom, because I donated to that Kickstarter like 4 years ago, and yeah, it's pretty cool. This poster obviously came with my Mysterious Game of Crypticism, and I think it's hilarious that every night when I go to sleep, Scott's staring back at me, keeping me safe. Anyway, and down here is a poster for Scott Pilgrim, just the series in general. This came with a box set of all the books, because I love Scott Pilgrim, and because it takes place in Toronto, so hometown represent, baby. Once again, pardon the glare, but this is a poster for 2003's FMA. If you couldn't tell, I guess that image was stripped from a calendar in 2005 and made into a poster, but I mean, just ignore that. It's a good poster. With even more glare, we have the big main poster from Brotherhood, which I think is really cool. Once again, hello. But yeah, definitely my favorite poster I have in here. Rounding off the FMA posters is just this classic piece of art from Brotherhood sitting right here. It's beautiful. And for some reason, I have a giant-ass Rick and Morty poster. That's actually going to get replaced with something else soon. I'll show it when it gets here. But for now, it's it's just Rick and Morty. I hate myself too. So first off is this figure of Ram from ReZero, and not a lot to explain here. It was like, I think $30. It's pretty good quality for that amount of money. I have to be really careful how I move her though, because if I'm not careful, the sunglasses she's holding will fall, and that is a real nuisance to deal with. So it's just a summary figure of Ram, and it's pretty nice. So that's the first figure. Next up is Asuna. So Asuna's obviously from SAO. I have mixed feelings on that show, but I do like Asuna. I think she's a good character, and is kind of butchered in the show, so that's a little annoying. But I did want a figure of her, because I'm like, come on, it's Asuna. I gotta have at least one. So she has a nice bouquet. This is just a nice little FMA figure that I have. I got this for my birthday, I think 1 year ago? I don't remember. Time means nothing lately. But yeah, this was given to me by a friend, and it's actually the only FMA figure I own, which is kind of annoying, but the other ones that I've seen online are really expensive, so this will have to do for now. But just a nice simple figure of Ed, and I like it a lot, so thanks. Some of you may recognize this, but this was the 100 million subscriber figure that PewDiePie released, and I just had to grab one. I mean, come on, it's Pewds. So I'm number 7,407 apparently, and this thing just rocks. I love it. It's so good. The detail, everything just looks so nice. These are just Funko Pops, nothing much to show here. The moment I get better figures, I'm going to replace them. But again, both of these were actually birthday presents, so thank you. I still like them. That's why they're up there. But you won't be there long, Daryl. So I have a funny story about this Tangiero figure. This was also a birthday present. A lot of these actually are. And the reason I got this one as a present is because I actually already owned one. Except it was a Chinese knockoff, so it looked like ass. So let's just compare the official nice figure, like everything looks good. Notice the neck. I think that's a very important feature in a figure. You can immediately notice just a little bit of a difference. I threw the sword away because it broke, by the way, but yeah. My man has no neck. There's a weird black spot on his head. I don't know what the hell that's about. And just, he's just not looking too good. So this one is complete trash. I hate it. I'm not gonna throw it away because I bought it. So it's like out of spite that I keep it. But this one is actually pretty good, so thanks. Next up is Alice. I haven't seen the third season of SAO because frankly I gave up on that show, but it matched Asuna, so I picked it up as well. Apparently Alice is like not that liked, I think, by the SAO community. I don't know if that's correct or not, but yeah, it's a pretty nice figure, I'd say. Not bad for the price I paid, which is like I think $40. So good stuff. Next up is the figure of Rem that I have, so also known as Better Ram. Let's get rid of the cobweb there, nice. This is a pretty nice figure too. I like it more than the Ram one. It's, I don't know, it's just cute. I like it. Everyone loves Rem, so yeah, just a cute little figure. So this figure, you may notice, is impossible to see, and that's because it is completely nude. It came with something to cover it. I cannot for the life of me make that covering stay, so I can't actually show it because she's just got everything out. So yeah, that's kind of awkward, but yeah, good figure though. God, I hate myself. So I saved the absolute best two for last, and we're gonna start off with this one, which is obviously the Iron Giant. This figure is amazing. I don't know how much it cost because it was actually a Christmas present, because the Iron Giant is probably my favorite animated movie, I'm gonna say. I love this film. I love this figure. It is just the best. It doesn't really fit well with the anime-related figures up there. He's even got the little dent in his head, so it's really good though. Fantastic. I love this thing. And the absolute best figure I own, hands down, and by far the most expensive, is this figure of Elle and Light from Death Note. This figure is just magic. The sheer amount of detail on every single part of this thing is insane. The glare makes it really hard to see, so I apologize for that. But you can see crinkles on Light's shirt, just his hair. There's a reason this figure cost me a pretty penny. I paid almost as much for this thing as I did my PlayStation. So what does that tell you? It's the best single figure I have. I love it to death. I'm very happy I own it, but I would probably not buy it again because, whoa, that's a bit of a ludicrous price. But I love it. I also have this display tower full of stuff, but it's kind of just like clear storage. I have nothing to do with it yet. There's nothing like I'm actively using it for at the moment, but there's one thing in here that I want to show. This bag is where I keep all of my Game Boy stuff. I have a decent amount of things, I guess. Oh, and apparently a 3DS game. And a couple DS games are in here too, so that's cool. I kind of could go without most of these, like, I don't know, yeah, the Magic Ring, don't care. TMNT, why do I own this? Winnie the Pooh, Rumbly Tumbly Adventure, like, okay, I'll keep this one. I do actually have a decent lineup of stuff here. There are a couple of words like, why do you have this, such as tennis or shoplifter 2, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with most of this collection. So of the anime I own, I actually have quite a few in collector's edition sets. They don't normally sit on my shelf this way because they would take up way too much room, so they're normally out of their big boxes, but I'm just gonna show them off now and what they really look like, and yeah, that'll be fun. So first up is part 2 of Erased. Again, I don't have part 1 collector's edition, but I do have this one, so just take a quick peek at this. So there are 2 things that come inside it. One is the actual just slot for the discs, and it's got this kind of cool art like that. So once you close it, they're holding hands. It's pretty cute. And then it comes with what most of these are gonna come with. Little art books that show the production as well as bios for the actual anime. Hold on, this is really hard to do with one hand. Let's just, there we go. Pretty cool. Nothing too fancy, which is why this wasn't very expensive, but still a nice piece for sure. Next is the FMA 03 Collector's Edition. So I actually got this, I think, just after I got Erased, and it comes in this really nice box. Really solid, I love it. So, much like the others, this one comes with, ooh, an art booklet, and it's got spoilery contents in it, so I'm not actually gonna open it, but there's a lot of art in here. Actually, hold on, I'm just gonna, there, this isn't spoilery. There you go. It's got some nice art in it, very cool, very, very awesome. So, yeah, it's pretty good. What really sells this, however, are the actual discs, because they are just this absolutely stunning red. They're great. It's got every episode. I really like this collector's edition. I think it is very nice. So, yeah. So next is Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai and Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl. So Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai comes with the actual, show. Nothing really fancy on the inside. As well as, surprise, surprise, a booklet which should show cells for the show, character descriptions, basically what you'd come to expect from these by now. So it's pretty nice. And they also came with postcards, I think, is what these are. Yeah, there's a few. They're okay, they're pretty good. Same thing goes for Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl. Once again, you have just the actual movie, nothing really fancy about it, just plain case actually. And look at that, wow, a booklet, who'd have guessed? Amazing. This is a good movie, by the way. I sound like I'm like dogging on it, but it's actually really good. Love is War. Hilarious, what a show. So this came with a few things. One, an art booklet, again, nothing crazy. There's character drawings inside, as well as descriptions. Really, nothing too fancy, but cool that it's there. The actual show, again, nothing crazy. And, oh, actually, the disc. I guess one of the discs is currently in my machine. Whoopsie. But they'd be in there. And then here we have, I'm assuming, postcards. I actually haven't opened these. And I'm not going to right now either, so sorry. It's pretty good. Very overpriced. Anohana. This one actually came, 3 days ago, I think. So let's take a quick look. This one's also very simple, just comes with the show itself, as well as actually a really nice booklet. Like, it's actually really high quality. The actual paper is, the covering is, everything about it is really, really high quality. So I can definitely give it some points there, but I mostly just wanted the show, and that's just such a pretty box that I felt, okay, I gotta get this version. And last and absolutely furthest from the least is Violet Evergarden, the collector's edition. This is easily the best collector's edition I own, like without a doubt. It comes with the complete series, which is normally like that. I don't keep it in its sleeve. I'll get to that. Some stickers, postcards, and a few other things. I'll just keep them in here. They're nothing special, but they're pretty, and definitely weren't necessary, but I'm happy they included them. And then there's this, is the art book. And if you haven't noticed, this thing is massive. It includes so much art from the show. It's unreal, the amount of effort they put into this. And what kills me is that this, look at the amount of writing, first of all. This was 60 Canadian, which is like, what, 50 US, maybe? Absolutely the best deal I've gotten on an anime, like, to date. And it makes me even more disgusted that I spent, I think, upward of $100 on Kagi-Sama, which came with basically nothing. So, absolutely fantastic job. Well done, well done, well done to Kyoto Animation, or whoever the hell's in charge of selling this. So, good job. So, when all is said and done, what are the favorite things I own? And, well, they're right here. Firstly, my 3DS just means a lot to me. It's the first console, if you want to call it that, first handheld console and just video game system I ever bought myself. So it means a lot to me for that reason, and this thing has taken me through a lot of car rides and just other shit, so yeah, I really love it. This Death Note figure is like probably the nicest thing I own, just period. Clothes, system, whatever. So there's no way I couldn't include it as one of my favorite things just that I own. It's great. You're gonna have to pardon the lighting, but I fucking love this thing. I'm so happy to own it. And then lastly is my collector's edition of Violet Evergarden. This thing is just packed to the brim with like insane content and stuff included. Plus Violet Evergarden is just already a beautiful show. So 10 out of 10, probably one of the best purchases I've ever made in my life. So yeah, this one is one of my favorites, hands down. So that's everything. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that kind of lazy rundown of all my stuff. I got a good amount of things, I'd say. One last thing before I go, I just wanted to say I'm actually going to be giving away a Google Nest Mini. I got this from Spotify, and I don't want it, so I'm pretty close to 200 subs, so if I hit 200 subscribers, I'll just pick one of the names there randomly, and I'll contact you, and I'll just send this out to you, because I don't want it. So help me get to 200 subs, and this will be yours. Okay? Okay? Alright, cool. I love you. Yeah. Okay, that's enough of that.